Okay, so this is a 20-minute whole body workout program. I want to start by saying honour your own limitations. Don't do anything that hurts. Don't push too hard or push to your limit. If you need to take a longer break in between exercises, by all means take it. Do what feels right for you. This is a guide. So we're going to start off with exercise number 1, which is a bodyweight squat. The first version of the bodyweight squat we're going to do from a seated position. So this could be a sofa, it could be a chair, it could be a footstool, anything that's stable enough that isn't going to tipple over when you sit back onto it. One of the key things that I want on this exercise is to remain your torso nice and upright. So if you want to put your hand behind your head to help keep your chest upright, and I want your knees to come in front of your toes. So from this position, we're just going to go from seated to standing. Okay. The nice thing with this is if you fail on the way down, the only thing you're going to do is sit back onto the chair. Okay, so all of the exercises in this program are going to be 20 seconds long. So just get your stopwatch on your phone, set it for 20 seconds. There's 2 versions of this exercise program. Version 1 is going to be 20 seconds of work followed by 20 seconds of rest. So simply when you start the exercise, start your stopwatch or your timer. It'll bleep when you finish, and then start it again. That's your rest period. When it bleeps again, you start it again, you move to the next exercise. The second option is to do 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. I would use a stopwatch for this. Have your phone set so it doesn't go to sleep. Put it on, lean it up against something, or put it on a stand so you can see the time, and you work from the minute, 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest to 30 seconds, back on again to 50 seconds, off again to on the minute, and round you go. Okay, so first exercise, I'll show you 2 versions of it, one using the seat, one not using the seat. I'll talk about key points that I want you to look out for. Very simple. Work at a pace and a range of motion that feels okay for you. I'm going to go quite deep into the squat, but if you don't go as deep, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so exercise number 1. Okay, so exercise number 1. Timer set for 20 seconds. I'm going to show you both versions as I go. Okay, the clock's ticking. So from a seated position, hands in that prisoner position, up and down we go. Work at a pace that suits you. Okay, second version, without the seat. You might not go down as far as this, that's absolutely fine. If you only get so far, work to what feels right for you. Exercise number 1, done. You take your 10 or 20 seconds breather, reset your timer, move on to exercise number 2. Okay, exercise number 2 is a cobra push-up. Again, we're going to do it for 20 seconds. Either a 20-second break or a 10-second break. We're going to lay face down on the floor with our hands just below our shoulder blades next to our ribs, pulling the elbows away from ourselves. Point the toes, push up and leave your pelvis behind. Back down again. As you push up, make sure that the shoulders aren't around the ears and that they're away from the ears and you're long through your neck. Work at a pace that suits you for the 20-second duration. Okay, so I'm going to start with stopwatch and go through it. So 20 seconds. Let's go. Remember, work at a pace that suits you. You may not be able to continue for the 20 seconds, that's also fine. You might do 10 seconds, need a little mini break, and then back on again. Just do your best. Exercise number 3 are star crunches. Again, 20-second interval. Your choice of 20 seconds rest or 10 seconds rest. So we're going to lay down on the floor with a bent knee. Hands are going to be on the temples, not behind the neck. We're not pulling on the neck at all. We're going to place both feet, both legs slightly wider apart so they're on the outside of the mat, and we're going to place both hands or elbows towards the top corner of the mat. So when you look from above, you're kind of in a star shape. And we're just going to curl or crunch into a fetal position, slightly lifting both butt cheeks off the ground and both shoulder blades off the ground. If you want, you can reach, so you can do it like this, or you can do it like this. Okay. Some of you might find it really challenging to get both butt cheeks off the ground, but you might be able to get your shoulder blades off the ground. Again, do your best throughout the 20 seconds. If you find that you get 70 seconds in, you need a little breather, by all means take a little breather and then continue for the 20 seconds. Work to your own limitations. Okay, so I'm going to start the stopwatch. Off we go. And time. So 20 seconds recovery or 10 seconds recovery, whichever recovery you're choosing, and then on to exercise number 3. So exercise number 4 is a single leg exercise. I've included a single leg exercise because when we walk, we're actually on one leg 80% of the time. So including single leg exercises are really important for our balance, as we spend so much time on one leg. This is a bending exercise. You've got a number of options in this exercise which I'll demonstrate. So the most challenging version is to stand on one leg, is to have one foot completely off the ground. Slight bend in the supporting leg so we're not locking the knee, that's really important. And that our hips go backwards and I'm sliding my hands down my leg. I'm trying to touch or place the fingertips just either side of my ankle and slide my fingers back up again. Next option is to just dab the toe and slide. So this leg is giving me just the minimal amount of support. The next option is to put a little bit more weight, so I've maybe got 80% weight in this leg, 20% in this leg, and I've got more balance. As I'm going forward, or as I'm bending forward, I'm not just rounding my back. I'm trying to keep a nice long back, so I'm hinging from the hips. You might find quite a bit of tightness in the hamstring as you go down this, so you might find you can only get your fingertips down so far before you have to round your back because of how tight your hamstrings are. Okay, so if that's the case, and I'm probably a good example of that, we'll only slide down the leg as far as my hamstrings will allow, and then back up again. This is a single-sided exercise, so we're going to do 20 seconds on one leg, then 20 seconds on the other leg. If you find you're really wobbly, you can place yourself next to a flat wall. Okay, I haven't really got a flat wall, although there's one behind me. And I can use the wall as a bit of assistance, so it stops me falling over. Okay? So, 20 seconds. Stopwatch is going. Off we go. Remember, nice long back. Might find you've got really wobbly feet. Doesn't matter if you have to dab the other toe down every now and again within the 20 seconds. And we're just sliding the hands down the leg. Pelvis goes backwards, not down. Okay. We're not going to take our 20 or 10 second break straight away because we're going to go straight onto the other side. So now we're going to change sides. Then we're going to take our 20 second break or our 10 second break. We'll do that many of these in 20 seconds. Be aware that you're not really gripping with your toes. Good. Single leg heel touches. Done. Take your 20 seconds or 10 second break, and let's move on to the next exercise. Okay, exercise number 5, seated Russian twists. This is an abdominal exercise that focuses on the obliques, and it's an upper body rotational exercise. I'll run you through the options. So, to start with,
You can place your feet against something or tuck your feet underneath something, so like the underneath of the sofa, underneath of a chair, anything that's got sufficient weight that can hold your weight for leaning backwards slightly and stop your feet from going upright. I've just put my feet against this piece of old beam here just to demonstrate. So I'm going to start by sitting nice and tall. You've got an option to put your hands like so, as if you imagine you're having a broomstick behind your head, or you can place your hands at the side, and we're going to rotate our shoulders or chest from one side to the other. Okay, you can see my upper body is rotating above my lower body. Next option, it's much more challenging, is feet off the floor and rotate. So feet tucked underneath something, feet up against something, or feet unsupported. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beam, show you the middle option. I'm going to do 20 seconds, start my stopwatch. Okay, off we go, and I'll show you each version as we go. Last few seconds. Stop your stopwatch, take your 20 seconds or your 10 seconds. We'll move on to the next exercise in a second. Little tip, by the way, when you're doing seated Russian twists, the more leant back you are, the more challenging it is. The more upright, a little bit easier it is. So again, work to your own limitations. Do what feels right for your back, and then move on to the next exercise. Okay, so we've gone through the whole exercise program, exercises 1 to 6, with 20-second intervals. If you're taking 20 seconds rest, if you go through this 5 times, so exercises 1 to 6 times 5, that will take you 20 minutes. If you're taking 10-second intervals, you go through this 6 times, it will take you 18 minutes. 2 minutes less, but it's going to be more intense because you've had half the recovery. You can, if you want, to make it more challenging, so rather than just working through 1 to 6 times 5 or times 6, you could do 2 lots of each exercise, 1 to 6, 2 lots of each exercise again, and then 1 lot or another 2 lots of each exercise to get your 5 or 6 reps. You could, if you want to make it more challenging again, do all 5 or all 6 of the same exercises times 20 seconds and work through it 1 to 6, and then you would be done. So there's a number of options. Working through it sequentially 1 to 6 times 5 or 6 times is probably the least challenging. The more times you do each exercise, so if I did exercise number 1 5 times or 6 times before I move to exercise number 2, that's going to be the most challenging version of it. So you've got a number of options to work with. Try to slightly underdo it, so when you finish the workout you feel good, not trashed. Okay, work your own limitations, there's no competition. Take your time. The first set that you do the exercises 1 to 6, maybe just do a few less repetitions. Allow your body to warm up, especially if you've been sat working at a desk. Get your body moving, get it warm, get joints moved up, muscles warmed up before you really start getting into it. And the main thing is enjoy it. Well done.